I'm 18 female. I'm graduating on Friday evening. It's only an online pre-recorded video, but it's better than what last year got, and I really got excited about it because I managed to stay in school for the entire 5 years, and I've kept on top of my work for the most part. My teenage sister and I are polar opposites. The best way to describe how different we are is in terms of clothing style, because that's what's relevant. She's currently wearing a woman's best set with a Nike hoodie and about £3 of makeup and an orange fake tan. I'm wearing a pair of Dickies, a vest top and a cardigan I found in my nana's wardrobe, and I'm not orange or plastered in makeup. She's a lot higher maintenance clothes and beauty-wise, and it usually doesn't bother me. Recently, a clothing retailer here opened and is taking shopping appointments. That's how desperately some people want clothes. My sister is one of the people, so my stepdad booked an appointment and got one for Friday evening, and it overlaps with my graduation video. I was thinking it was fine and they'd probably just not go since it was important to me to have family at the one normalish thing I've had in well over a year. I was wrong. They're still going. I got angry last night when they told me, and I said many nasty things and called my sister names. No one is talking to me now. They think I'm overreacting, that I'm an idiot for blowing up like this since all my sister's clothes have come from online since December and she hasn't got to see anything in person. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your parents should know this is an important life event, to be honest. I could understand if it was something serious, but they needed to take her shopping that day? Is the next appointment not for 6 months? Do both of your parents need to hold her hands? Seems ridiculous to me. Maybe you shouldn't have got stuck into her since it's not her fault, but I can understand the frustration. Everyone's the idiot here. What was the point in ridiculing your sister's sense of style in comparison to yours? The only info relevant is that it's your graduation and they decided to take her shopping. The rest was just you being mean. There might be more than meets the eye to this story, but you're angrier at your sister than your parents, the ones who made the final decision in the first place. You can be upset, but calling your sister names was uncalled for. You are the idiot for how you talk about your sister. Shaming someone for how they dress isn't okay. I see you say that she does the same to you, but you're 18. It doesn't make it okay that she does this to you, but you're bullying a child. Even if she did beg your parents to take her, it's still not her fault because, again, she's a child. They are the ones in the position of authority. Not the idiot. I'm in a similar-ish boat to you regarding the whole grad thing. I graduated last year with an informal Zoom call with the girls in my year, but my parents never acknowledged that. They keep saying, "At least I did my final exams," whenever I mention anything about college online and how annoying it is, etc. My younger brother got to see his friends, got pizza for his would-be confirmation, all 3 times that was rescheduled, and his primary school grad. I always knew I wasn't the favourite, but it really drives that home when they're so blatantly preferring my brother over me and making fun of how I didn't technically finish school. Everyone's the idiot here. Your parents are obviously awful. Your sister is a bit of a brat, but you clearly harbour ill feelings for your sister. Feigning a moral high ground, I can literally imagine you patting yourself on the back for not caring about your looks the way she does while putting her down every chance she gets, is nothing but virtue signalling and a major bad move. Are you sure you're just not jealous? Also, it's not even live, it's pre-recorded and online. They could have easily gone shopping and come back to watch your grad video together on the same night. I'm not allowed to save the video since some of the people in it are still under 18. I'll be stuck recording it on my phone for them. It's on for an hour, 7 to 8, and we're not allowed to save it. I very clearly am jealous that she'll get something and I'll barely get a congratulation. I'm sorry people are going in so hard on you for being mad that your parents are literally ignoring a massive milestone in your life to get your sister some new clothes for no specific occasion. I'm not sure why no one sees why that would totally crush a person's spirit and make them a little vindictive. Not the idiot. And congratulations on your graduation. I, 27 male, and a group of guys in our neighbourhood have our own unofficial soccer teams. We play 3 nights every week in this vacant parking lot in our area. Just for fun, you know. Get some exercise and blow off steam. I'm the youngest in the group. All the others are late 30s to early 40s, and I've been playing with these guys for 3 years. I have a young daughter with my wife. My daughter loves to come with me when I meet the guys to play. I've asked them multiple times if this is okay, and they were always fine with it. Most of them are dads themselves, so they get along with her. My daughter usually sits on the hood of my car and watches us play. We sort of started to include her in the game. She's our scorekeeper. We don't keep score when we play, but she likes helping with our games. A month ago, one of the guys on the opposite team, James, invited this new guy to play named Dennis. He plays on our team. Our first night, he was asking who the kid was. When we told him she's my daughter, he commented that he thought this was guy time, not babysitting. I brushed that off because whatever, we're here to play. At the end of our first game that night, my daughter told me how many goals each team scored, and Dennis got angry because she miscounted. Our team, according to him, made 7 goals, but my daughter only counted 5. She's a kid, obviously, sometimes she doesn't pay attention. We told him it was fine, but he was annoyed, and he asked me why I even brought her then. It happened a few more times where he'd tell me stuff. His biggest complaint was there were kids there because he gets enough of that at home. He wanted to be away from all that. Cuss freely and say what he likes, and he says he feels he can't do that with my daughter around. It really got to me when he asked where my baby mama was and why can't she watch our kid for once. I've already told him in the past my daughter just likes coming with me to watch the game, but it didn't stop him from saying stuff. I confronted him after our game and I told him I don't know what exactly his problem is or why my daughter's presence seems to bother him, but he needed to stop. One of the guys, Mike, heard our conversation. He asked what was up after Dennis left. I told him some of the stuff he'd said and I was just telling him to knock it off. Mike looked mad and I guess he told the others because they talked to James about not bringing Dennis anymore. James is mad at me now, says I ruined Dennis's nights because none of the guys want him playing with us anymore. So now I'm feeling bad because I know it's fun to play since we're busy during the week and it's our time to be active and have fun, and feels like I did ruin that fun for him, so I'd like to know if I was an idiot for saying anything at all and getting him kicked off. Not the idiot. Dennis ruined it for Dennis. Imagine having the audacity of being new to a group and then picking on a little kid. Dennis obviously has some internal issues about his kids and is deflecting them. Your daughter was not bothering your game, therefore her being there shouldn't have been an issue. If everyone was cool with her being there before he came, then he is the issue. Yeah, that whole, I hate being a dad and come here to get a break from being a dad, and you bringing your kid here willingly not only reminds me that I am a dad, but also that I'm a crappy dad that doesn't like being a dad mentality is gross. Parents like that are unfortunately common. It's why I think more people should listen to that pit in their stomach saying they don't want to be a parent, rather than every cheesy sitcom ever saying, you'll feel different when you have a kid of your own. Turns out 99% of 100 people really probably won't. Right, and the fact that he got mad over her counting wrong, he already said they don't keep score, so why does it matter? If you're new to a group, you have no right to complain or change things that the group has been doing before you were around. Not the idiot at all, OP. It's, as you said, your time to get out, blow off steam and have some fun. Having your daughter there doesn't take away from that, and I'm willing to bet in 10, 20 years, it's still going to be a fond memory for her, spending time watching her dad and being included, if only to keep score. Dennis is the one who came to the game, made it an issue, and ruined it for himself by being the idiot. Keep up being a great dad, OP. I, male 36, am preparing for my upcoming surgery at the end of May. I have a respiratory condition that I've been suffering from, and my wife has been very supportive and accommodating of all my needs. She has endured so much by shouldering this burden with me. I can never describe how much support she's been with everything going on with me. The problem is that her best friend's wedding is at the end of May, specifically on the 27th, and my surgery takes place on the exact same day. The 27th was not the original date of her friend's wedding. It was supposed to be on May the 18th but got changed. Her friend informed us about it on short notice, and my wife wanted to go, but it's an 8-hour trip since the wedding will be held in the groom's hometown. My wife and I discussed this, and I bluntly told her I needed her for my surgery. She said that that's her best friend and this will hopefully be her only wedding, and that she wanted to attend. She asked if I could get a friend as my support, but I just didn't think this was right. I was even puzzled that she asked me to find a substitute while she goes to her friend's wedding. I asked if her friend's wedding was more important than my health. She argued that there was nothing wrong with it and I won't need her since the medical team will take care of me. Then she said that by refusing, I was making her choose between her best friend and me. We went back and forth on this argument, and she insisted she wants to attend her friend's wedding. I told her she was being unreasonable and never expected her to prioritize a wedding over my health. She loudly yelled, "What do you want me to do? I might lose my friend over this," then stopped talking to me. I think I mishandled this and acted in an ungrateful manner, but I think she's the one who doesn't understand the difference since my surgery is an emergency, and if her best friend is a good friend, then she'd understand, right? So, am I wrong for what I said? Not the idiot. In sickness and in health does not have a temporary suspension due to BFF's wedding clause. It's an emergency surgery. Your life depends on it. If your wife would rather be at a friend's wedding after that friend changed the date last minute, geez, I'm sorry. Even if she's been supportive in the past, I cannot imagine being that heartless towards my spouse. No, in sickness and in health goes both ways. You can't stop being a good spouse just because you're sick. If this was some sort of one-off emergency, that'd be one thing, but it's part of an ongoing condition that's already taken up tons of the wife's time, emotional energy, social life, friendship, and happiness. He needs to be the one who does something good for her for a change. I'm going to say no one's the idiot because you're totally reasonable for wanting her there, and she's also reasonable for not wanting to miss a once-in-a-lifetime event for her best friend. It also sounds like she's experiencing some caregiver fatigue. Has she had to give up other things to care for you, spending time with friends, going on trips, etc.? If so, she might be feeling a little burnt out and like she really needs to do something for herself. And if that's so, I think you at least try to arrange to have someone else to support you for the surgery. That will go a long way. For many caregivers, the constant stress of having to put their own needs second can be really draining. Also, with constant hospitalizations, people get numb to them. When everything is a life or death health situation, the big surgeries don't seem that big anymore. It's a way to cope. You are the idiot. Since this seems like an inpatient surgery, you're asking your wife to miss a wedding so she can sit in the waiting room of a hospital. She can't perform the surgery. All she can do is sit and wait. You start out by saying how supportive your wife has been, so the fact that she wants to go to the wedding suggests that she doesn't feel she needs to be at your surgery. The fact that you're insisting she's there when she's not needed indicates that maybe she's more supportive of you than you are of her. Given how hospitals have jumped into the 21st century with technology and allowed people to be present even if they are remote, there's nothing your wife can't do from a distance. You mentioned how giving your wife is. Maybe you should give something back to her and not make her miss her best friend's wedding. This is absurd. He's having major surgery. She absolutely needs to be there. There's a big difference between sitting in the hospital waiting room and being 8 hours away attending an event that requires you to leave your cell phone off for an hour or two. Imagine this was a wife who had a difficult pregnancy that required a lot of caregiving from her husband, and the day she scheduled for induction, birth, C-section, her husband wanted to attend his best friend's wedding 8 hours away. Not a single person here would be calling her the idiot for wanting him to stay. Not a single one of you would be saying, "Oh, cut him a break. He's been taking care of you for months. Let him cut loose just this once. What's the big deal? The doctors can just call him if something goes wrong. Plus, he said his brother could be there instead, so I don't know why you're upset." Give me a break. I can't believe these comments. You're all some pretty fair-weather spouses. My boyfriend invited me to his family's house for a Mother's Day party last weekend, and we were going to sleep in his childhood bedroom. His grandparents decided to come at the last minute, so his parents offered them the bedroom and offered us the pull-out sofa. I can't sleep unless I'm in a locked room or locked apartment with the only people inside are me alone, my sister, or my boyfriend. I just don't feel at ease sleeping with anyone else around after some traumatic stuff in my past that I prefer not to share. So when my boyfriend told me plans had changed, I said okay, but I was going to stay home. He still wanted me to go, so I said okay if they can figure out something that gives me or us a private room that locks. So he said okay, he'll figure it out and left it at that. A few days later we went to the house and his family had brought a pull-out bed into a sunroom with glass windows and glass doors that adjoined the living room. Also, it didn't lock. I knew right away I wouldn't get any sleep all weekend, so I told my boyfriend quietly that I was getting myself a hotel and he could stay at his family's place or with me. I was fine with either. But I was frustrated with him that I told him what kind of room I'd sleep in, private, locking, and he said he'd work something out, and that turned out to be a room that was like a fishbowl to the shared living room with no lock. He got frustrated with me, saying his family wasn't going to do anything to bother us, but I said that wasn't the point. I don't particularly distrust them, it's just that they aren't on the very short list of literally 2 people in my life I am that comfortable with. I ended up going to the hotel alone, and his mom was also upset with me for going off and staying elsewhere, which made things inconvenient, because I took my car, leaving my boyfriend without the car he was supposed to use for grocery shopping. Also, I didn't participate in the early morning planning of the day because I wasn't there. She was also frustrated because she'd gone through the effort of moving the sofa bed from the living room, which had no door, to the sunroom, which had a latching door, and she honestly thought that that would be okay because the family locks the house at night, and I think she misunderstood what my boyfriend was saying I needed, to believe that I had some stranger danger fear, which really isn't accurate. Am I the idiot for getting a hotel rather than sleeping in a public area of my boyfriend's childhood home? I can't fall asleep in public areas. Not the idiot. I think this is really your boyfriend's fault. It seems that you were totally upfront, and he just thought he could compromise without asking you first. If I were his family, I'd be frustrated and probably a little offended too, but again, that was only because your boyfriend didn't let them in on the actual problem. I'm sure had they known the full story, they would have understood. Honestly, I have no hang-ups about locked doors, but likely would have done the same thing. I have zero intentions of ever sleeping in a shared space with my wife if a hotel is a reasonable option. Not the idiot. You were very clear with your boyfriend about what you needed to sleep, and he ignored it. I don't blame his mum for being a little upset, she doesn't know your situation, and it seems rude to just up and leave from an outside perspective, but again, she doesn't know your situation. You need to have a serious talk with your boyfriend, because if he's unwilling to do things for you that are basically deal breakers, then he's not the one for you. You're not an idiot for going to the hotel, but you are the idiot in front of your boyfriend's family, who did go out of their way to make you feel comfortable. Like you were really expecting them to put the grandparents out? Or what? Create a room out of thin air? What solution were you thinking your boyfriend's family would come up with? And you didn't even try to find out what their solution was before heading there. You should have asked what their solution was, and if it didn't work out, plan with your boyfriend about staying at a hotel or not going. Secondly, you went to the hotel to sleep. Why didn't you come back first thing in the morning to help with Mother's Day? Am I guessing it was always part of the plan? Like, why even go if all you're doing is creating a scene? Instead, come up with an excuse to just not go so that at least boyfriend could enjoy spending time with his family. Had you done this part, eating would have been ESH. But since you didn't, you are the idiot. They tried their best to accommodate, and you just rudely told them to shove it. Good luck trying to win his family over now.